If a modern Navy SEAL platoon somehow traveled back to feudal Japan and found themselves face to face with 1,000 samurai warriors, who would actually win? At first glance, it seems obvious. The SEALs would absolutely destroy them. No contest. End of story, right? Well, not so fast. History has a way of humbling assumptions. Take the Battle of Omdurman, for example, when a British-Egyptian army armed with rifles and machine guns faced 50,000 Sudanese warriors. The British lost 47 men, while the Sudanese lost over 10,000. It wasn't a fight, it was a one-sided massacre. So, yeah, if 1,000 samurai came charging straight at a group of SEALs in an open field, it would be over before any of them could swing a sword. Brutal, fast, and honestly kind of dull. But what if the samurai didn't panic? What if they stayed disciplined, adapted, and fought with the same relentless spirit they were famous for? That's when things get interesting. Let's break down what each side is actually bringing to this insane matchup. A Navy SEAL platoon usually has 16 operators, 2 officers, and 14 team members, all trained in diving, demolitions, and parachuting. Their main weapon is the M4A1 carbine, fitted with holographic sights, laser pointers, and suppressors. Each one carries a Glock 19 sidearm, frag grenades, flashbangs, and maybe some C4 for when they feel dramatic. Some bring heavier toys like MK46 or MK48 machine guns, sniper rifles, and claymore mines for anyone dumb enough to charge. Plus, they've got drones, night vision, and encrypted radios, stuff that would look like witchcraft to a samurai. The samurai, on the other hand, fight with what they've mastered for centuries. Long spears, deadly katanas, shorter wakizashi blades, and yumi bows that can hit from 150 meters away. Their armor, beautiful lacquered oyoroi, looks intimidating but wouldn't stop a single modern bullet. Some ride horses for shock attacks, but most are on foot. A few might even have matchlock guns, primitive firearms from early trade, but against modern rifles, that's like bringing a candle to a flamethrower fight. In pure weapon terms, it's not even close. In an open field, the SEALs would wipe them out easily, like watching a tornado rip through paper walls. But weapons aren't everything. Now let's talk about logistics. SEALs are trained for fast surgical missions. They're built to strike hard, get out, and disappear, not fight a drawn-out war. They carry just enough ammo, food, and water for a few days. After that, they'd have to live off the land, and feudal Japan isn't exactly stocked with MREs. The samurai, meanwhile, have the home advantage. They know every hill, river, and forest. They have supply lines, villages, and local support. Samurai armies traveled with cooks, armorers, and workers who could keep them fed and ready for weeks. Water wouldn't be an issue for the SEALs. They've got filters and tablets, but food would. Hunting in strange forests while dodging patrols and carrying 80 pounds of gear isn't sustainable for long. The longer the fight drags on, the worse it gets for the SEALs. Now the terrain, Japan's forests, are dense, narrow, and full of ambush points. In open fields, SEALs dominate, but in forests, things get messy fast. Long-range rifles don't mean much when someone's jumping at you from 10 directions with a sword. Still, the SEALs have one killer advantage: night vision. When the sun goes down, the battlefield flips completely. With goggles on, they see everything. The samurai see nothing. The SEALs could move silently through the dark, hit hard, and vanish before anyone even knows they were there. To the samurai, it would look like demons attacking in the night, fast, invisible, and unstoppable. But if the SEALs can't finish the job quickly, trouble starts. Ammo runs low, batteries die, fatigue builds, and 16 men can only fight off 1,000 for so long before the numbers start to matter. Tactically, the SEALs are masters. They'd break into small fire teams of 2 or 4, moving fast while others cover them, a tactic called bounding overwatch. They'd strike hard, stay mobile, and never let the samurai get close. The samurai, however, weren't idiots. They'd adapt fast, spreading out, using cover, and trying to lure the SEALs into close quarters where katanas rule. If that happened, things would turn bloody in seconds. In tight terrain, pistols and knives won't match lifelong swordmasters. The samurai would also use traps, misdirection, and psychological warfare to grind them down. They wouldn't need one big victory, just time. Time to let the SEALs burn through their ammo, food, and willpower. Now, let's talk numbers. Each SEAL carries around 210 rounds for their M4, about 7 magazines. If they push it, maybe 12 mags, or roughly 360 rounds. 16 operators means around 5,700 rounds total. Even if every shot hit perfectly, which never happens, each SEAL would need to drop about 62 samurai to kill all 1,000. Reloading takes 2 or 3 seconds, but that's an eternity under pressure. Firing too fast overheats the rifle. The machine gunners help with suppression. MK-46s can fire 850 rounds per minute, but that burns through ammo in seconds. 100 rounds vanish in 7 seconds, 214. Reloading those belts isn't fast either. Every bullet counts. Every reload is a risk. Meanwhile, the samurai only need to find a single opening, one jammed rifle, one bad reload, one missed angle, and they're in. Statistically, each samurai only needs to take out 1/16 of a SEAL. Doesn't sound fair, but that's how numbers work. Mentally, it's a grind for both sides. Some samurai might flee after watching dozens die before reaching sword range, but remember, these are warriors raised on honor and loyalty. Retreat isn't in their DNA. The SEALs, on the other hand, face an endless wave of enemies and constant exhaustion. Even elite soldiers break eventually. Now, let's imagine how it ends. Scenario 1. The SEALs hit first and hit hard. They unleash everything. M4s, machine guns, grenade launchers, frag grenades, flashbangs, and claymores. Snipers pick off leaders, breachers set traps, drones guide their attacks, and night vision turns the world into a shooting gallery. The samurai barely stand a chance. The SEALs wipe them out before hunger or fatigue can even set in. It's fast, clean, and terrifying. A modern massacre. Scenario 2. The samurai play it smart. They don't charge, they wait. They use the forests, ambush trails, and choke points to slowly drain the SEALs ammo and strength. No food, no rest, no backup. Days pass, morale drops, supplies vanish. The SEALs keep fighting but slower, weaker, surrounded by an enemy that refuses to quit. Eventually, sheer numbers take over. And if it drags on long enough, things get bizarre. The samurai might capture some SEAL gear, guns, radios, or explosives, but with no training, they'd probably blow themselves up or shoot their own feet before figuring anything out. Still, chaos is its own weapon. Even random gunfire or accidental explosions can shift momentum. A battlefield this insane doesn't need logic, it just needs pressure. So who wins? Yet in the short term, the SEALs dominate completely. Their firepower, precision, and technology make them nearly untouchable, at least for a while. But if the fight lasts too long, the samurai's endurance, discipline, and numbers could slowly turn the tide. It's not about who's stronger. It's about who runs out first, ammo or patience. So, what do you think? SEALs or samurai? Drop your pick in the comments below. And if you want to see more insane what-if battles where history goes off the rails, check out the next video on your screen. See you there.